you're in industrial sales, I guarantee that you're making these 4 mistakes that are holding you back from your revenue potential.
That was it.
That's what she said. What's up, guys? I'm Kyle Milan, and I have a ton of content about industrial sales and marketing because this is the industry that I've worked in for the past 23 years. And I've talked to a lot of salespeople in manufacturing and industrial, trained them, had them as clients, big companies, small companies, everything in between, and everybody's making these same mistakes. So let's jump into them so you could stop doing it, and I'm gonna tell you what you need to do instead. The top mistake is industrial salespeople are becoming complacent. What do I mean by that? They start riding on their wins too much. They're like, I get a little bit of victory, a little bit of success. They start to slow down their outbound, they start to slow down their drive, they become complacent. It does not matter if you've been doing this for 6 months or 16 years. Every single industrial sales guy that I've ever talked to becomes complacent. They start resting on the successes and stop being aggressive. That is not the type of attitude you have to have. Unless you're in a position where you're an account manager and you're not rewarded on new accounts. If you're a hunter, if your job is to go out there, get new business, bring it in, hand it off to the operations team, hand it off to the product development team, whatever it is that you do in industrial sales, your job is to hunt, then you need to look at it and say, I gotta win. I'm going to celebrate it for a moment. Maybe it's for an hour. Maybe you get a high five, pat on the back, and that's it. Then you gotta go right back to work. These people that are getting cocky with their wins start to become complacent. They start walking around, beating their chest, being like, I'm the best, look at me. And then before you know it, they don't have anything in their pipeline and the rest of the team is continuously working. When I was in industrial sales, it does not matter if it was a $6,000 deal or a $6 million deal. I would celebrate the win in a moment and get right back to work because there are bigger deals out there. You can increase your revenue for your company and you can increase your own personal income if you keep going. Do not wait. Do not think that you're better than anybody. Do not think that you've done it, you've won. That's all you have to do for the rest of the year. If there's a goal at the end of the month, if there's a goal at the end of the quarter or the year, you need to say, I'm gonna crush that goal even if you barely make it. And it's almost at the end of the quarter, almost at the end of the month, and you've made it, you need to push it even further. Don't hold things back. You have to put it all out there, lay it on the line, continue with that same passion and aggression that you originally started with, and stop becoming complacent. This is by far the biggest issue that I see. Now, if you are an account manager, then that's okay because you go out and maybe hunt for stuff, some things, or you're growing an internal house account if you're not paid commission on it. But I feel like every salesperson in industrial sales should be paid a commission. If you're growing an account, if you're growing business, if you're bringing in new people, you should be getting a commission on that. That's usually what people want, is the money aspect of it. The reward with that carrot is, if I do this, I'm gonna get a bonus or commission. You gotta stay hungry and aggressive because otherwise it will kill you. Number 2, biggest crucial mistake is gonna be no follow-up. Lack of follow-up in this industry is insane. If I had $1 for every time somebody said, well, I called them twice, I emailed them twice, or reached out to them, they didn't respond. That is not where the money is made. The money is made in the follow-up. You need to be following up at least 5, 6, 7, 20 times in different methods. So let's break this down. Industrial salespeople don't follow up enough. They think that there's so many avenues that they have to go down. They think that there's so many people that they're trying to go after. Maybe their list is 500 people, 1,000 people. They just got back from a trade show, there's 100 of them. They're like, oh dude, I gotta make 100 phone calls, I gotta send 100 emails. Hopefully you've got some email marketing system in place that can do some of that for you and a team that can support you, but that's not that many people. You need to continue to follow up and change your method. So where people get lazy is they say, I've called them 3 times or twice, or I've emailed them twice, no response. You have to follow up and change your method of follow-up. If you guys follow my content and the over 850 videos that we have on this YouTube channel, you know that I say change your method of contact. You can call them, email them, do a personal visit, you can send them some snail mail, you can send them a message on LinkedIn, you can send them a text message if you have their cell phone, you can go through another means. I mean, you can say, I'm not gonna follow up with them, but I'm gonna have my boss follow up with them. I have a different sales guy follow up with them. I have one of my ops guys, the president and engineering manager, like change the person that's contacting. The way we do it here is if my sales guys can't get through to somebody, then it comes up to me and I reach out to them. A lot of times that may work. Even if it doesn't, we've already gone down the path of reached out numerous times, numerous different methods, you still can't stop. Just doing it once or twice is not gonna be enough. There are deals literally today that we're trying to close that we've been working on for 1.5 years. And typically our deals are only around for about 30 days before we close them. A year and a half later, 2 years later, we're still trying to get it because the deal wasn't dead, but you have to continuously follow up. That is the key to everything. They're not ready right now. Unless they said, no, this project is dead, then there's still a chance, and you need to still put them in sort of some pipeline, a drip campaign through your CRM system. Hopefully your marketing department has something set up. If you don't use HubSpot, use a system like that. Put them into a long-term nurture. Touch them every 6 weeks, 8 weeks. As long as you are continuing pushing out there in different method, get it to where subconsciously they start thinking about you. They're posting stuff, you're liking it, and triggering them like, oh shoot, you know what, that person didn't email me. I don't have any answers for him, but that's nice of him to like my post or comment. I want to reach out. So you kind of guilt them into it. There are lots of different methods to do it. I listed the 7 that I think are the best. You got to change the way that you're following up, what you're saying. It's not just I'm following up on that project. Change your script on it, and I guarantee you will see massive success, and your pipeline will get fuller. You'll start closing more deals, increasing the revenue. Number 3, counting wins before they happen. You may have been given verbal notice that, dude, I'm gonna get this deal, but it is not a deal until the contract is signed, a PO is in hand, or some sort of confirmation. Too often, salespeople are like, I got that deal, and then something falls apart last minute. I've been part of those deals a decade ago when I was in industrial sales. I've had some of our clients' deals fall apart because the sales guy's like, yeah, no, we're getting that, we got it, let's celebrate, ring the bell, send the notifications, all that stuff. And guess what? That deal doesn't happen. Now, most of the time, a seasoned salesperson will know if somebody is serious about it, but you just never know. So let's say I counted a deal that was a huge deal and I counted that it was done before it was signed, I might then typically become a little bit complacent, slow down a little bit, because I'm like, dude, I just won that deal, that hit me, I'm way past my goal, I'm crushing it, I can't go any faster, any harder. You slow down, even if it's for a day or 2, that is going to be the difference between you hitting higher level goals, doing more deals, and not, because everything's about timing in this industry. You call somebody today, maybe they say, I don't have anything for you. You call them tomorrow, oh, something came up. So because everything's about timing, you always have to be on the offense. So the way to do that is to never count your chickens before they're hatched. If the deal comes through, the contract is signed, the PO is given, cool. It's a win, thumbs up to you, move on to the next one. Do not count it before it's actually done. Last but certainly not least, number 4 is underestimating the work that it will take to hit those goals. Whatever you think it's going to take to hit your goals, let's say that your goals are lofty, because that's what they should be. They should be out of reach, and out of reach enough to where it makes other people uncomfortable when you tell them that that's my goal. If I'm in industrial sales and my territory says you should be able to do 5 million over the year, I'm gonna say, dude, my goal is 15, 20 million this year to do. I'm gonna tell everybody that and make them think, dude, this guy's crazy. But I'm gonna put in the work to be able to do 30, 40, 50 million dollars, because I know that it's not gonna be easy as expected. Industrial salespeople, no different than anybody else, you underestimate the work. Now you can go through your deals and look at how many people do I have to talk to before I get an RFQ? How many RFQs do I have to do before I actually close somebody? How many, and figure out your close ratio and all that stuff. But you're gonna forget and not figure out how many people do you, the first part, how many people do you have to talk to? How many messages do you have to send? How many calls do you have to make? How many shows do you have to go to? I'm not saying you need to break it down to a complete science, but what I am saying is that you're gonna think, oh, I just need to make 20 calls a day, or send out 20 emails, or talk to 20 people, or go to one trade show and talk to 5 people and only be there for one day, and you're gonna drastically underestimate the amount of work it's gonna take for you to hit those goals. If you don't put in the work up front, you're never going to get the return on that time in the back end. You're not gonna be able to realistically hit anything because you're gonna underestimate the input, therefore your output's gonna be way lower than what you expect. So you have to say, if I'm hitting this goal, I'm going to 3, 4, 5, 6 times the amount of activity that I have to put in order to hit that goal, and hopefully your numbers are a little bit off and you surpass that goal with that 3, 4 to 6 times effort. Maybe it's like my close ratio is better than what I thought. If I go after these people through these channels, these deal sources, I have a higher success rate, higher win rate. You don't know until you track all the data. But what I do know for a fact, anybody watching this, anybody listening to this, you guys are underestimating it. I see it every single day with our clients. I see it every single day with people in sales. They think that you can just do a little bit, get a win, and then just coast for the rest of the month. Yes, you can do that. Guess what? You're not going to be the highest sales performer there. I don't know why anybody would want to do that. You want to live to the highest potential you can. You want to be competitive with people. You want to raise the bar, produce as much revenue for the company that you're working for. So why would you rest and be weak and not put in that effort. Put in 10 times the amount of effort it takes, and I guarantee you will see massive success. Hopefully you guys got some value out of this content. If you do, share with an industrial salesperson that you know and get this message out there because they need to hear it too. Everybody in this industry needs to step it up. I'm gonna start coming with some more aggressive content to really put you guys in your place. I'll challenge every single one of you to a competition when it comes to selling. Be sure to follow me on LinkedIn. If you guys like listening to podcasts, go ahead and type in industrial sales and marketing with me on every major podcast platform. You can listen to this while you do other things, and I will see you on the next one.